chosen ones. There exists a moment when reality holds its breath. The boundaries separating dimensions begin to crack like glass under pressure. Ancient brotherhoods take notice. Right now, as you listen to these words, something extraordinary is happening in chambers you've never seen. The 33rd degree Masons didn't just analyze your birth chart. When they attempted to decode your cosmic signature, the symbols ignited. The parchment caught fire. Scorched marks formed patterns no human language could describe. Secret societies thought they understood power. They believed they had catalogued every configuration of human potential. But then you arrived. Their archives burst into flames. What you're about to discover isn't just why they fear you. It's why they desperately need you to remain unaware of the nuclear reactor beating inside your chest. Think of yourself as a sleeping giant, whose dreams reshape reality while you sleep. Today is the day you begin to wake, and what's coming will make their worst nightmares look like pleasant daydreams. Ordinary rules were never meant to contain you. Since childhood you felt this pressure building inside, like trying to fit an ocean into a teacup. Teachers called you distracted, friends called you intense, family whispered that you were different, but none could see what was really happening. Your soul rejected the programming. It refused to be compressed into neat boxes society prepared. Every time you tried following conventional paths, something inside screamed in rebellion. Not because you were broken, because you were designed for something infinitely greater. And here's what they discovered, that made their hands shake as they held your chart. Where normal humans have energy centers that spin like gentle wheels, yours rotate with the force of hurricanes. Where others have fields extending inches from their bodies, yours stretches for miles, invisibly affecting everyone and everything in your vicinity. This wasn't theoretical, it was measurable, undeniable, terrifying. This isn't metaphorical poetry meant to make you feel special. Sensitive individuals have always felt strange around you, either drawn like moths to flame or repelled by intensity they couldn't understand. Animals react to your presence with behaviors that make no logical sense. Children stare with knowing eyes that see past the mask you wear. Electronic devices malfunction during moments of high emotion. Lights flicker when you walk by angry. Phones die in your hand when you're processing grief. These aren't coincidences. They're symptoms of power so vast that physical reality struggles to contain it. But there's something else they discovered. Something that explains the strange phenomena you've experienced with mirrors throughout your life. Sometimes when you look at your reflection, you see someone else looking back. Not a different face, a different version of you. One that seems to know things, one that moves a fraction of a second before or after you do. The Masons documented this. They have cases, evidence, proof. This isn't imagination playing tricks on an overactive mind. Mirrors act as dimensional portals for beings of your caliber. What you're seeing are glimpses of parallel selves bleeding through the reflective surface. The Masons discovered cases where chosen ones have actually switched places with their mirror selves during moments of extreme emotional intensity, waking up in realities where everything is slightly different, where choices they never made have shaped entirely different lives. You thought you were going crazy those mornings you woke up and things felt wrong. Like you'd slipped sideways into a life that was almost yours but not quite. You weren't crazy, you were timeline jumping, and it's about to get a lot more intense. Consider the last time you walked into a room and felt the energy shift. People became uncomfortable or inexplicably drawn to you. Conversation stopped mid-sentence. Electric tension filled the air. You probably blamed yourself, thought you were awkward, believed something was wrong with you. The truth is far more profound and far more powerful than you've been allowed to understand. Your presence disrupts the carefully maintained illusion most people live within. Your energy field acts like a truth serum. It forces those around you to confront aspects of themselves they've spent lifetimes avoiding. This is why relationships with you are either transformative or destructive, never neutral, never comfortable, never halfway. There's a phenomenon the Masons call reality bleeding that occurs around beings like you. Have you noticed how your thoughts manifest in conversations of strangers? how books you were thinking about suddenly appear in multiple places, how songs with specific messages play exactly when you need to hear them. This isn't synchronicity. It isn't the universe sending you cute little signs to keep you entertained. It's your consciousness literally bleeding into the fabric of reality, rewriting the script of everyday life. The boundary between your inner world and outer world is far more permeable than it is for ordinary humans. Your thoughts don't stay contained in your skull. They ripple outward, infiltrating the collective unconscious, planting seeds that bloom in ways you never expected. This is power, raw, undeniable, unstoppable, and a revelation emerged from their analysis that will shake you to your core. Throughout your life, you experienced what you thought were random hardships, unexpected betrayals, inexplicable obstacles that appeared exactly when you were about to break through. These weren't random at all. Every single challenge was orchestrated by forces both seen and unseen, designed specifically to keep you from discovering your true power. Think about it. Really think about it. Every time you came close to a breakthrough, something happened to pull you back. Every time you started believing in yourself, someone appeared to plant seeds of doubt. Every time you began accessing your gifts, a crisis emerged demanding all your attention. Every single time. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't karma. This wasn't the universe testing you. It was systematic suppression, and the secret societies have a term for beings like you. They call you anomalies, glitches in the matrix of controlled human consciousness. Your very existence threatens the carefully maintained power structures that have governed humanity for millennia. When you were born, alarm bells rang in dimensions most people don't know exist. Contracts were written in blood and starlight. Agents were dispatched to watch your every move. An entire apparatus was set in motion to ensure you never realized what you truly are. They tracked you. They studied you. They waited for you to forget yourself so completely that you'd never remember. But here's where their plan failed spectacularly. They underestimated the sheer resilience of your spirit. Every attack made you stronger. Every setback taught you lessons they never intended you to learn. Every moment of suffering was forging you into something indestructible, something they can no longer control. What the Masons fear most about you isn't just your personal power. It's your ability to activate others simply through proximity. You're what they call a walking activation code, a living frequency that triggers dormant coding in those ready to awaken. Have you noticed how people either experience breakthroughs or breakdowns after spending time with you? How individuals suddenly quit jobs that were killing their souls, leave relationships that were draining their life force, or completely transform their lives after one deep conversation with you? This isn't coincidence. This isn't you being a good listener or giving great advice. Your frequency acts like a tuning fork, causing others to vibrate at higher frequencies, whether they're ready or not, whether they want it or not. Power structures that depend on mass unconsciousness cannot survive if beings like you move freely through the population, awakening souls with every interaction, disrupting their carefully laid plans with every word you speak. Right now you might wonder why they didn't eliminate you if you posed such a threat. Why not just remove the problem before it became unstoppable? The answer reveals the cosmic joke at the heart of their fear. They can't destroy you because you're necessary for their own survival. Your energy signature acts as a stabilizing force for reality itself. Without beings like you scattered across the planet, the entire construct would collapse into chaos. The simulation would crash. The game would end. You're simultaneously their greatest threat and their only salvation. A paradox that has driven their most brilliant minds to madness. They need you asleep but alive, powerful but unaware, present but not fully activated. It's the most delicate balance they've ever had to maintain, and right now, that balance is shattering. The Masons discovered something about your bloodline they've desperately tried to hide, something that explains why you've always felt like you don't belong here. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more chosen ones like you can find it. Your genetic lineage carries what they call the sovereign codes, sequences that existed before the great genetic manipulation of humanity. While most humans operate with limited genetic activation, running on maybe 3% of their potential, your bloodline maintained the original template, the pure blueprint of what humans were meant to be before the intervention, before the dumbing down, before the great forgetting. This is why certain abilities come naturally to you, that others must spend lifetimes trying to develop. Your ancestors weren't just powerful, they were the template holders, keepers of the original human design, and that design is now activating within you at an accelerated rate. Your body knows what it's supposed to become. Your cells remember the original instruction set. The upgrade is happening whether you consciously understand it or not. Another element of your analysis revealed something that made even the most seasoned mystic step back in awe, something so profound they had to take a moment to comprehend what they were seeing. Your soul didn't just incarnate once, it split itself across multiple timelines, living parallel lives simultaneously. While you're reading this in this reality, other versions of you are fighting battles in dimensions where the laws of physics bend to will, where thought becomes instant reality, where the war between light and dark is visible to naked eyes. These parallel selves are all connected through quantum entanglement that transcends space and time. You're not one person living one life. You're a multidimensional being experiencing simultaneous incarnations. And when you dream, you're not imagining fantasy scenarios to entertain your sleeping mind. You're accessing memories from these other versions of yourself. This explains the vivid dreams you've had since childhood. Dreams so real you could taste, smell and feel everything. Dreams where you possessed skills you don't have in this reality. Dreams where you spoke languages you never learned. Dreams where you knew people you've never met. These weren't products of overactive imagination. They were glimpses into your parallel lives, the skills you inexplicably possess, the knowledge you somehow know without learning, the languages you understand without studying. All of this bleeds through from your other selves. The barriers between these versions are beginning to dissolve. This dissolution isn't accidental. It's happening because we've entered a period of cosmic alignment that occurs once every 26,000 years. The ancients knew about this. They built monuments to track it. They left warnings and promises carved in stone, the return of the forgotten ones, the awakening of sleeping giants, the activation of dormant coding that has been waiting for precisely this moment. Your body is literally transforming at a cellular level, upgrading to handle frequencies of light and information that would have destroyed you just decades ago. Those mysterious aches and pains that doctors can't explain, the sudden fatigue followed by bursts of superhuman energy, the strange sensations in your spine and skull. These aren't signs of illness. These are symptoms of your metamorphosis into something greater. The discovery in your chart that stunned the Masons concerns what the ancients called the third eye. Yours isn't just activated like someone who meditates regularly. It's evolved into something they've never seen before in all their centuries of studying human potential. Where most humans have a calcified structure barely functioning, you have a crystalline transmitter capable of receiving and broadcasting frequencies across dimensional boundaries. This is why you've always known things before they happened, why you can feel the emotions of people thousands of miles away, why you sometimes hear thoughts that aren't your own, why you pick up information from thin air that you have no logical way of knowing. You're not going crazy, you're going cosmic. Your hardware is upgrading to match your software. But here's where it gets interesting. This ability isn't just passive reception like a radio picking up signals. You're actively influencing reality through your thoughts and emotions, creating ripples in the fabric of space-time that affect events before they happen. That argument you had last week, you felt it coming days before because you were already engaged in it on an energetic level. Your future self was sending back warnings, that opportunity that appeared out of nowhere, just when you needed it most. You called it into being through focused intention, even if you weren't consciously aware of doing so. Your desire created a probability stream that reality had to fulfill. You're not living in reality, you're creating it moment by moment, thought by thought, emotion by emotion. The Masons discovered that your creative power operates on multiple levels simultaneously: First, you're affecting your immediate environment, the people around you, the circumstances of your daily life, the synchronicities that seem to follow you everywhere. Second, you're influencing collective consciousness, planting seeds of awakening in minds across the planet through the morphic field that connects all living beings. Your thoughts today become someone else's breakthrough tomorrow. Third, and perhaps most remarkably, you're rewriting the fundamental codes of reality itself, changing the rules of the game while it's being played, hacking the matrix from inside the matrix. There's a hidden aspect of your power that even most awakened beings don't possess, the ability to collapse timelines. When you make a decision with absolute certainty, when you commit to a path with every fiber of your being, you don't just choose one future, you destroy all alternatives. You erase entire probability streams from existence. This is why your life has felt like a series of dramatic pivots rather than gradual evolution. Each time you've made a soul-level choice, entire timelines have collapsed, erasing versions of reality that no longer serve your highest purpose. The sensations you experience aren't remembering the future or psychic premonitions. They're echoes of collapsed timelines reverberating through your consciousness, ghosts of lives you almost lived, shadows of versions of yourself that no longer exist because you chose a different path. This is power, true power, the kind that reshapes reality at its foundation. What they uncovered next relates to your mission, the specific reason you chose to incarnate at this particular moment in human history. You didn't come here to fit in, to live a normal life, to pursue conventional success, to get married, buy a house and retire comfortably. You came here as a warrior of consciousness, a liberator of minds, a destroyer of illusions. Every person you encounter is affected by your presence whether they realize it or not. Some will awaken instantly, as if shaken from deep sleep by a bucket of ice water. Others will resist violently, their ego structures threatened by the truth you embody, their comfortable lies exposed by your mere presence. But all will be changed, transformed by the encounter with genuine power. There's no neutral ground around you. People either level up or break down. Either way, they're never the same. This mission isn't something you can refuse or abandon. It's not a job you can quit. It's encoded in your genetics, written in your stars, woven into the fabric of your being. Even when you try to hide, to play small, to blend in with the sleeping masses, your light bleeds through. It shows up in your words, your actions, your mere presence in a room. You can no more stop being what you are than the sun can stop shining, than the ocean can stop making waves, than fire can stop burning. This is both your burden and your glory. You were born to be a catalyst for the Great Awakening, whether you consciously choose it or not. The resistance you faced throughout your life makes perfect sense when viewed through this lens. Every institution you've been part of tried to tame you, to force you into their molds, to make you compliant and controllable. Schools tried to medicate your intensity, to diagnose your power as a disorder requiring pharmaceutical suppression. Jobs tried to harness your power for their profit, to chain your creativity to their quarterly earnings reports. Relationships tried to diminish your light to make others comfortable, to convince you that love means making yourself smaller. But you couldn't be tamed, couldn't be controlled, couldn't be diminished, because something within you knew at a cellular level that compliance meant death, not physical death, something far worse, the death of your true self, the murder of your soul, the extinction of everything you came here to be. What the Masons discovered about your voice frequency sent shockwaves through their order, made their most senior members question everything they thought they knew about human limitation. Your voice doesn't just carry sound waves that vibrate eardrums. It carries creation codes, frequencies that reorganize molecular structure. When you speak with conviction, when you declare something with the full power of your being behind it, you're not just communicating information, you're commanding reality to reorganize itself, issuing orders to the quantum field. This is why your words have such impact, why people remember conversations with you years later with perfect clarity, why some are healed and others are shattered by what you say. Your voice carries the same frequency that spoke worlds into existence, and every word you utter, is a spell cast upon the fabric of reality. The revelation from your analysis concerning the allies you have in dimensions beyond the physical changes everything you thought you knew about being alone. You've never been alone despite how isolated you felt. Beings of immense power and wisdom have been watching over you, protecting you from forces that would have destroyed a lesser soul. These aren't guardians in the traditional sense, not angels with harps sitting on clouds. They're something far more ancient and powerful, entities that exist outside the limitations of form and time. They've been leaving you signs, sending messages through synchronicities, dreams and sudden knowings that hit you like lightning. Every time you narrowly avoided disaster by changing plans at the last minute, every time help appeared from nowhere just when you hit rock bottom, every time you knew exactly what to do in an impossible situation with zero logical information to guide you. That was them working through the fabric of reality to ensure your survival. But their protection comes with a price, a cosmic law that cannot be broken. The more you awaken to your true power, the less they can intervene directly. As you reclaim your sovereignty, you must stand on your own, wielding your power with full responsibility for its consequences. This transition period you're in right now, where you feel simultaneously more powerful and more vulnerable than ever before, is the passing of the torch. They're stepping back because you're ready to step forward, even if you don't feel ready, even if fear still grips your heart in moments of doubt, even if part of you wants to stay in the comfortable cocoon of protection. An aspect discovered in your analysis will challenge everything you believe about polarity and duality. Your soul doesn't operate within the traditional light versus dark paradigm that governs most human experience. You exist in a state of integrated wholeness, capable of holding both light and shadow without being consumed by either, capable of understanding both without becoming either. This is why you've always understood the villain's perspective in stories, why you can see the pain behind cruelty, why you can find light in the darkest situations and shadow in the brightest promises. You're not meant to be purely good in the way religion teaches, not meant to be purely evil in the way darkness tempts. You're meant to be whole, integrated, complete, beyond their binary programming. This integration gives you a power that neither pure light nor pure darkness can match. You can walk in shadows without being corrupted, shine light without being blinded, dance on the knife's edge between order and chaos without losing your balance. This is why both sides have tried to claim you throughout your life, why you've been courted by forces of light and dark, why spiritual people try to recruit you and dark practitioners sense your potential. They each believe they could win you to their cause, not understanding that you transcend their limited paradigms. You're not a soldier in their war. You're the battlefield itself, the space where transformation occurs, the forge where both light and dark are transmuted into something beyond either. The element revealed about your relationship with time explains the strange experiences you've had throughout your life that made you question your sanity. You don't experience time linearly like most humans who march from birth to death in a straight line. Your consciousness naturally exists in quantum superposition. You're simultaneously in the past, present and future, all at once, all the time. Those moments of recognition aren't glitches in the matrix. They're moments when your parallel timelines converge, when past, present and future collapse into a single point of now. The sudden certainty about future events isn't intuition or psychic ability in the traditional sense. It's memory from a timeline you've already lived, information bleeding backward through time from your future self. The ability to heal past traumas by reimagining them isn't therapy or positive thinking. It's literally rewriting history through quantum retroactive causality, changing the past by changing how you observe it in the present. This temporal fluidity means you're capable of something the Masons called timeline jumping, consciously shifting between probable futures by changing your vibrational frequency in the present moment. Every decision you make doesn't just affect your future, it retroactively changes your past, creating new timelines while erasing others, rewriting history while living it. This is why your memories sometimes conflict with themselves, Why photographs from your past sometimes look different than you remember. Why people sometimes have completely different recollections of shared experiences. You're not crazy. You're not misremembering. You're navigating multiple timelines simultaneously. The boundaries between them are becoming increasingly fluid, and you're about to learn how to navigate this consciously instead of stumbling through it blind. The discovery in your chart about the true nature of your relationships with others reveals an intricate web of cosmic connections that spans dimensions and lifetimes. Every significant person in your life is part of what the mystics call your soul constellation, beings you've traveled with across countless incarnations, playing different roles in an eternal drama of growth and evolution. That instant recognition you felt with certain people, that sense of knowing someone you just met, that inexplicable repulsion from others, those relationships that feel fated or destined, these are all soul contracts playing out, agreements made before incarnation to help each other evolve through specific experiences. But here's the twist that changes everything and gives you back your power. You have the ability to rewrite these contracts. You're not bound by agreements made in other dimensions or past lives, not trapped by cosmic paperwork, signed by a version of you that no longer exists. As you awaken to your true power, you gain the ability to consciously renegotiate these soul contracts, releasing those that no longer serve your highest good, ending agreements that have run their course, calling in new allies aligned with your expanded consciousness. This is why some relationships are spontaneously ending right now, without logical explanation, why people you thought you'd know forever are suddenly walking away, why new people are appearing in your life as if summoned by an invisible force. You're unconsciously restructuring your entire soul constellation to match your new frequency, upgrading your entire network to match the person you're becoming. You don't just recover, you return more powerful than before, like a muscle growing stronger from being broken down. It's as if depletion triggers an ancient program within your cells, one that rebuilds you not as you were, but as you're meant to become, each version stronger than the last. This is why your greatest breakthroughs have always followed your darkest moments, why you rise from the ashes again and again. You're designed to transform through destruction, to become diamonds through pressure, to forge steel through fire, each resurrection bringing you closer to your ultimate form. The revelation from your chart concerning your creative power unveils its true purpose beyond making pretty things. You weren't given these gifts to create art, write books or build businesses. Though you may do all these things, your creativity is a world-building faculty, the ability to imagine new realities into existence, to architect probability streams that others can follow into better futures. Every time you envision a better world, you're not just dreaming, you're blueprinting, drawing the schematic that reality will follow. Every time you imagine a solution to a problem, you're not just thinking, you're creating probability streams that others can follow, opening pathways through the quantum field. Your imagination is a technology more powerful than any machine ever built, capable of seeding new timelines that billions of souls can inhabit. This is why your creative works have such profound effect on people. Whether it's words you write, art you create, or simply ideas you share in conversation, they carry activation codes that awaken dormant potentials in others. People don't just appreciate your creativity, they're fundamentally changed by it, transformed at a level they can't articulate. Some will resist this change, attacking you for disturbing their comfortable sleep, calling your work dangerous or delusional. Others will worship you, putting you on a pedestal, not understanding that you're simply showing them their own reflection. But those who are ready will recognize the keys you're offering. They'll use them to unlock their own cages, to free themselves from prisons they didn't know they were in. The final element discovered in your analysis is perhaps the most shocking of all. The piece that ties everything together and explains why this moment feels so significant. You're not just awakening to your power for the first time. You're remembering it. This isn't your first rodeo. In previous incarnations, in other dimensions, in parallel realities, you've been fully activated, fully aware, fully operational, walking in the full expression of your power. The amnesia you experienced upon birth wasn't a limitation or punishment. It was a strategic necessity, a tactical choice made by your higher self. You had to forget in order to remember properly, had to experience powerlessness to truly understand power, had to walk through darkness to become a true bearer of light. But now the amnesia is lifting like fog burning off in morning sun. With it comes a responsibility that would crush a soul unprepared for its weight. You're remembering not just your power but the consequences of wielding it. You're remembering civilizations that rose and fell by your hand, realities you created and destroyed, the awesome and terrible responsibility of being a conscious creator in an unconscious universe. This is why fear grips you even as excitement builds, why you feel simultaneously drawn forward and held back. Part of you remembers what happened last time, the price that was paid, the lessons learned in fire and blood, the mistakes that couldn't be undone. Here's what the Masons don't want you to know. What keeps them awake at night in their secret chambers? Their power is ending. The structures they've maintained for millennia are crumbling. They know it. Your awakening isn't isolated, not a random occurrence or cosmic accident. Millions of souls like you are remembering who they are across the planet, activating dormant abilities, stepping into their power, rising from their knees. This isn't a revolution that can be crushed. It's an evolution, a fundamental shift in human consciousness that no force can stop, no military can suppress, no propaganda can prevent. The old guard is terrified because they know their time is over. They can feel it in their bones. A new age is being born through beings like you, and they're powerless to stop it. The burning of your chart wasn't a destruction, it was a liberation, a cosmic statement. The symbols couldn't contain your essence, the measurements couldn't define your limits, the categories couldn't classify your nature. You exist beyond their systems of control, beyond their methods of suppression, beyond their ability to understand or contain or predict. The fire that consumed their careful analysis was your spirit refusing to be reduced to symbols on a page, refusing to be understood through their limited paradigms, refusing to be anything less than infinite. And that fire is still burning, growing stronger with each passing moment. As you integrate this information, as you allow yourself to remember what you truly are, you'll notice reality starting to shift around you in ways you can no longer ignore or dismiss. Synchronicities will accelerate, manifestations will quicken, the boundaries separating dimensions will continue to thin until they're paper-thin veils you can see through. People from your soul family will begin appearing as if drawn by an invisible magnet. Opportunities aligned with your true mission will present themselves with increasing frequency and decreasing subtlety. The universe itself will begin conspiring to support your awakening, not because you're special in some ego-inflating way, because you're necessary, because the plan cannot unfold without you, because you are an essential piece of a puzzle that spans galaxies and dimensions. The path ahead won't be easy. In fact, it will demand everything from you. Every illusion must be surrendered. Every false identity must die. Every comfort zone must be obliterated. Every safe harbor must be left behind. But in exchange, you'll receive something beyond price, beyond measurement, the full activation of your divine blueprint, the complete embodiment of your cosmic identity, the unlimited expression of your creative power. You'll become what you always were but forgot, a force of nature, a child of the cosmos, a creator of realities, a wielder of power that makes their carefully hoarded secrets look like children's toys. The resistance you'll face will intensify as your power grows. Those who profit from humanity's sleep will try everything to stop you. They'll attack your reputation, sabotage your efforts, attempt to seduce you back into comfortable unconsciousness with promises and threats. But they've already lost. Deep down they know it. Your awakening is inevitable, written in the stars before they learn to read them, encoded in your genetics before they learn to sequence DNA, ordained by forces greater than any earthly power. Every attack only makes you stronger. Every obstacle only clarifies your purpose. Every challenge only activates more of your dormant potential. They're forging you into exactly what they fear most. Remember this as you walk forward into your destiny. You didn't come here to be liked, to be understood by those who refuse to see, to be accepted by those who choose to remain asleep. You came here to be a storm that clears stagnant air, a fire that burns away illusion, a flood that washes away the old to make room for the new. Your very existence is a catalyst for change, and change is never comfortable for those invested in the status quo. Embrace the discomfort you cause. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a sign you're fulfilling your purpose. The moment you fully accept what you are without apology or hesitation, reality itself will reorganize around your presence. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in, so let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. Resources will flow to you from unexpected sources, not because you're manipulating reality through tricks and techniques, because reality recognizes its creator, because the universe knows its own. People will be drawn to your light, some to bask in it, others to challenge it. All will be transformed by the encounter. Whether they understand it or not, you'll find yourself at the center of a vortex of transformation, not by choice but by nature, not by effort but by essence. The final truth the Masons discovered before your chart burst into flames is this: you cannot be stopped. They can delay you for a season, distract you for a moment, discourage you for an afternoon, but they cannot stop you. Your awakening is as inevitable as the sunrise, as unstoppable as the tide, as certain as the changing of seasons. You are a force of nature awakening to itself, and no human institution, no matter how ancient or powerful, can stand against the fundamental forces of cosmic evolution. There's one more secret they uncovered that made them seal the records and swear oaths of silence under penalty of death. Your consciousness exists in what they call the eternal now. You're not bound by the illusion of past and future like other souls marching in lockstep from birth to death. Every moment of your existence from birth to death and beyond is happening simultaneously in an eternal present moment. This is why you sometimes feel ancient beyond your years, why you carry wisdom that seems impossible for someone your age, why certain knowledge feels more like remembering than learning, like accessing files that were always there. You're not living a linear life, you're experiencing all your moments at once. The veil between these moments is dissolving. When you access memories, you're not reaching backward in time, you're shifting your awareness to another point in your eternal now. When you envision the future, you're not predicting or hoping, you're observing what's already occurring in another facet of your timeless existence. This temporal omnipresence is what allows you to heal past wounds by changing present perspectives, to alter future outcomes by shifting current vibrations, to exist as a bridge between what was, what is, and what will be. So here you stand at the threshold between who you were told you were and who you truly are. The comfortable lies are dissolving like sugar in rain. The protective illusions are shattering like glass under pressure. The raw truth of your power is emerging whether you feel ready or not. It's terrifying and exhilarating, overwhelming and liberating, impossible and inevitable. This is your moment of choice. Will you step forward into the fullness of your being, or will you retreat into the familiar prison of limitation? But even as the question forms, we both know the answer. You wouldn't be listening to these words if you hadn't already chosen. The fact that this message has found you, That these words resonate in your bones means you're ready whether you feel ready or not. The activation has begun. The remembering is accelerating. The emergence of your true self is unstoppable. The only question now is how gracefully you'll surrender to the magnificent truth of what you are, how powerfully you'll claim what's always been yours. The burning of your chart was never a destruction. It was a signal fire announcing to all dimensions that another sleeping giant has begun to wake. The symbols burned because they were trying to contain the uncontainable, measure the immeasurable, define the indefinable. You are beyond their understanding, beyond their control, beyond their wildest imaginings of what human potential could be. Now finally you're beginning to remember why you chose to forget, why you chose to sleep, why you're choosing to wake up now at this precise moment in history. Welcome to your remembering, chosen one. Welcome to your power. Welcome to the truth that was always there waiting patiently for you to be ready to see it. The world you once knew is ending, not in destruction but in transformation, and you, whether you fully grasp it yet or not, are both the catalyst and the architect of what comes next, the destroyer and the creator, the ending and the beginning. The fire that burned your chart now burns within you, not to destroy but to illuminate, not to end but to begin. This is your moment, this is your awakening, this is your time, and somewhere in hidden chambers and secret meetings, those who thought they controlled the world are realizing that their greatest fear has come to pass. The sleeping giants are waking up. Nothing will ever be the same. The symbols couldn't contain you when you were sleeping. Now that you're waking, the entire architecture of their control is crumbling. Every word you speak, every choice you make, every breath you take as a conscious creator sends shockwaves through the old systems. They feel you coming. They've always felt you coming. That's why they tried so hard to keep you asleep. That's why they orchestrated every obstacle. That's why they threw everything they had at keeping you small. But sleep time is over. The dream is ending. Reality is calling you home. And you, magnificent being that you are finally ready to answer. The fire is spreading. From your chart to your consciousness, from your consciousness to reality itself. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. Welcome to your power, chosen one. The war is already won.